Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about my 5 tips for collecting movies. These are tips that I would recommend whether you're a new collector, you've been collecting for a little while, or it's your biggest hobby. So let's jump into this intro and we'll get started. Welcome once again, my name's Austin and this channel is all about digging deeper and going further to better understand faith and film and everything that is in between. If that sounds exciting to you, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any new content. Without further ado, let's get started. Today I'm going to give you my 5 tips for collecting movies. These are tips that I think can apply to anyone, whether you're a brand new collector or maybe you haven't even started collecting yet, but it's something you're interested in, or you've been doing for a little while, or something that you're a lifelong collector. And I think these are just some great tips to help you along the way. Make sure you stick around until after tip number 5 because I'm going to give you a bonus tip that'll help save you time and money. Now, to give you some context about myself and my personal collection and how I kind of collected movies, my family was always into movies growing up. We had quite a large DVD collection, and then once I got into high school and early college, I started collecting for myself with both Blu-rays and DVDs. Today, I almost exclusively buy Blu-rays except on rare occasions when a DVD is the only thing available. So that's kind of where my collection comes from. I've been actively collecting for about 6 or 7 years now and currently have a collection of about 450 Blu-ray/DVD and TV show titles in my collection. My first tip would be you don't have to buy everything. Buy what's important to you. If you're someone who's not really into like the big mainstream blockbusters of like Star Wars, Harry Potter, that kind of thing, you don't have to own those. Just because they're well received and highly popular movies doesn't mean you have to have them in your collection. Let it be something that's personal to you. Or even within a franchise, just because there's 20 movies in the franchise that you like, whether like the MCU, it's one of the biggest franchises right now. There's like 25 movies in that series. Just because there's 25 movies in that series doesn't mean you have to own all of them. If you're a huge fan of it and you enjoy all the movies, maybe you would. But if you're not a huge fan and you just kind of like them, but only certain ones in particular, like maybe you only like the Avengers team-up movies, just own the Avengers team-up movies. You don't have to own everything. You don't have to buy every single movie that you see. If you're the type of collector who wants to have everything, go for it, but you don't have to be that kind of collector just because you collect movies. Not every collector needs to have 5,000 movies in their collection. Tip number 2, along similar lines, know what kind of collector you want to be. Do you want to be a big collector? I follow numerous YouTubers who have 3,000 plus movies in their collection, and they take pride in having a catalog of films that are important to history and the different things they affect. Maybe the quality of every film in their collection isn't top tier, but they want to have a catalog and a wide range of items in their collection. Or maybe you just want to be a small collector. You don't have to have the big 1,000+ movies in your collection. Maybe you're okay with having 100, a few hundred, something along those lines. I personally lie within that kind of field of having ones that are personal to me. If you want to lean more on the smaller side, just have movies that are important to you personally. If you're only into superhero movies, just collect the superhero movies. If you're into foreign films, you only can buy foreign films. If you want to collect more niche items like the Criterion Collection, Scream Factory, Arrow Videos, those kinds of things, just collect those kinds of items. You don't have to have all the mainstream stuff in your collection. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. I like having a lot of the blockbusters, but I also like some more unique and artistic stuff at the same time. So know what kind of collector you want to be. Do you want to be the one who's got the big 1,000+ movie collection? Do you just want a small collection of 50, 100, 200 movies? Or do you lie somewhere in between? It's okay, there's a wide range of where you can fall. My third tip is one of the most important so that you don't break the bank. You need to make sure you budget, are open to trading and selling. I personally have a set budget Up until recently, it was a monthly budget, but we refigured, my wife and I, how we do our budgeting. And now I have a weekly budget of kind of what I get for fun money that I can do what I want with. Most of it ends up going towards movies because that's my primary passion and hobby, but that kind of is flexible here and there of what I want to do with it. So make sure you have a budget, whether it's $100 a month, $50 a month. When I first started kind of more actively collecting, I didn't really have a budget because I was just in college and I just kind of did what I wanted. I still was a fairly frugal person, but especially once I got married, I had a set budget of $30 a month. It wasn't much, especially if I was buying a brand new movie that was coming out day one, but I made it work. And then, like I said, be willing to do trade-ins and sell your movies. If it's a movie you kind of bought, watched a couple times, you've enjoyed it, but you're not really going to watch it anymore, you don't have to have it in your collection. Maybe you fall into that category of a smaller collector, so you don't need to have that catalog of titles. If it's something you're willing to have watched a couple times and that's enough for you, go ahead and list it on Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, bring it into a buy-sell trade place. All those kinds of places will take it. You're not going to get a ton for it, but it helps you recoup a little bit. And this tip is especially important, I think, for people starting out because you don't want to break the bank, feeling like you have to build up your collection to the point where you are comfortable with what you have for all the past stuff and just going forwards. I personally have been collecting, like I said, for 6 or 7 years, and I'm basically to the point right now where I'm fairly almost 100% confident I have almost everything catalog-wise that I would want in my collection. I think by the end of this year, unless they re-release older stuff that I just don't have, that isn't available on Blu-ray yet, I'm pretty satisfied with everything that's in my collection from this point backwards. And so for the most part, any growth in my collection is going to be going forwards. And obviously I've invested a lot of money into all of these movies here, but that's not something I went out and did day one and spent $1,000 getting a huge bulk amount of movies. I was willing to be patient. And that leads us into tip 4. Tip number 4, you don't have to buy new all the time, and a lot of the time, especially for Blu-ray, used is the way to go. Perfect example, Disney. Almost any Disney Blu-ray that you want to buy, brand new, you're probably going to spend $20 to $25 on average. If you want to go into the 4K, you're looking at $30 to $35 probably. That will drain your budget really quick if you're into that kind of stuff. Obviously there's special editions. Every once in a while I give in and I buy a movie brand new. But I've really learned over the past year or two that I don't have to buy a movie day one. A lot of the time, if you're willing to wait even a month after a movie just came out, there's usually a $5 to $10 price drop that'll happen on that brand new movie. And you can still get it brand new a few weeks later for $5 to $10 less. Another thing I've learned, especially in the past couple of years, is love your local used movie and video stores. Those stores have had some of the best items that I've picked up in my collection for the best prices. For the longest time, I was just the Walmart, Best Buy, and Target guy. I would go there, browse and peruse through their movie sections and buy movies from there, a lot of times day one and that kind of thing. I always enjoyed going to a Newbury Comics and FYE once in a while, and in the past year or so especially, I've learned that their prices aren't too much different. Sometimes you can find a better deal in an FYE or a Newbury Comics as opposed to brand new at a Walmart or a Best Buy, but more and more I have been more preferential to local movie and music stores. They tend to have the best deals on movies. A lot of the time you can get a Blu-ray in there for $4. And like I said, if you're, for example, when I started off, when I got married, I had $30 a month. $4 per movie goes a lot further than $15, $20, sometimes $25 a movie in a month. You're going from 1 to maybe 2 movies a month to $4 for a movie. You can get 5 or 6 movies and be good for the month. So not only are you saving money on movies in your collection, you're helping out local video stores to kind of help boost and support local businesses. A perfect example of being willing to buy used rather than new all the time for me is this movie Love and Monsters. This is a recently released movie that came out last year. I got this weeks after it came out at a local movie store and everywhere else, and still I think up until today, the movie is like $20 most places. I got this for $4 used. It didn't come with the digital copy, so someone probably bought it, took the digital copy and sold it, which is another great way to save money. And I found this at the used store for $4. I got a $20 movie for $4 weeks after it came out, just by being patient, not going to Walmart day one to buy it, and picking it up at a local store. And then with tip number 5, of course, the most important tip probably, have fun. Have fun getting out, checking out stores, whether it's the big box Walmart, Best Buy stores, or your local movie music store. Have fun with it. I have so much fun putting lists together on Amazon, ranking movies, doing collection hauls, updates, finding collector's editions once in a while. Whatever gets you excited about collecting movies, do that. I love getting together with my brother, meeting up, hitting up a couple local movie stores. We have so much fun just browsing through the aisles for hours, and you don't even have to buy everything you see. Like I said, just looking through stuff, especially the used stores, there's so much more unique niche stuff in there that you're not going to see in the standard Walmart, that kind of thing, especially as those selections are getting smaller and smaller, seems like every week. So possibly most importantly, have fun with your collecting. Don't let it stress you out. Don't panic about, oh, I don't have this one, I don't have that one, oh, this one costs so much money. Have fun with it. Don't rush. Be patient. Follow these tips. They will help you to enjoy the hobby of collecting movies. Bonus tip for you, make sure to utilize an app that can help you catalog and log the titles that are in your collection. And a site I like to recommend to people is Blu-ray.com. They post about pretty much every movie on every online store and when it is on sale and what the prices are. So if you're looking to save extra money, utilize Blu-ray.com. I personally have the app on my phone, and then I also have an app called My Movies. I did have to pay about $10, I think, for it, but it lets me scan the barcode and put every title that's in my collection on my phone, which is great, especially once you've grown beyond 100 or so titles. It's harder to remember which ones are in your collection, and sometimes you're just caught up in the moment when you're at the store, and unless it's for a different kind of special edition, you don't really want to double dip most of the time, so it helps you to remember what's in your collection so you don't double dip, buy multiple copies of the same thing. So both of these apps have saved me a lot of time in research and remembering what movies I already have in my collection, as well as money when it comes to what movies are on sale and when I can pick them up. So that wraps up my 5 plus my bonus tip for buying and collecting movies. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope these tips have been helpful to you to help save you time and money and build the best collection you can for you. I have thoroughly enjoyed putting this one together. I don't usually do videos like this, but I wanted to try something different. I've been watching a couple of these videos lately and kind of wanted to put in my 2 cents. So thank you for checking out the video. Thank you for sticking around up until this point. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already so you don't miss out on future content, and I'll see you in the next one.